For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 70. I hope you're having a great start to the summer. One of the struggles that I have witnessed in my nearly 30-year career is watching people that have good marketing, watching people that have good enough skills, watching people that have all the potential on the planet, but because their mindset is horrible, they don't take the actions that they want, they don't make the phone calls that they should, they don't do the little things that matter every single day in their business that cause winners to win. Mindset matters, my friends. I was on the phone a couple days ago with Joseph McClendon, if you know that name. Joseph McClendon III has done a lot of work with Tony Robbins, a great psychologist, brilliant individual. And we were talking about the frustration of providing people the tools and the resources to be successful. And yet, if they don't get this right, nothing seems to work. Do you know someone like that? Do you know someone that struggles to reach their potential? Someone that gets frustrated by the fact that there's just opportunity everywhere and yet they never seem to have enough? Do you know someone like that intimately by chance? Perhaps the person watching this show? Well, if you're like me, I like to figure out why. Like, why is it that some people today see nothing but opportunity and act on it, and others look at the same exact market, in the same exact office, with the same exact opportunities, and all they see is doubt, lack, and limitation, which last time I checked, doesn't create massive action. Why is that? Well, in my study of the mind, here's what we know, right? You've got 40,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. The great book by Shad Helmstetter, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, written in the late 70s. So old book. Maybe you should Google it, buy a paperback copy. It's a very fast read. The essence of the message was, look, the average human being has 40,000 to 60,000 thoughts per day. The challenge is we've got the same thoughts happening over and over and over and over. And if you really stopped and really paused and said, I just want to listen to the chatter in my head, you and I both know, generally speaking, it's not real positive. I mean, you're walking down the street and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, right? Oh my God, that person doesn't like me. Do I look too fat? Like, you're in this constant self-talk battle, this chatter going on inside your head. And the bummer is, it's not building you up. It's not creating higher self-esteem. It's not creating more ambition, more drive. No, it's actually doing the opposite. Here's the bummer. You ready? They said in this book that the average human being, by the time they were 18 years old, were told, no, don't, stop, you're gonna fail 180,000 times by people that love them. And some of our parents were overachievers. Why is that important? Well, if you know anything about the mind, the unconscious mind and the conscious mind, your unconscious mind is like the mind cloud. It's like this massive storage device that remembers every thought, every word, every action, every movie, every song, everything you've experienced. And the bummer is, it doesn't give you, hey, this is truth and this is a lie. It just simply stores up all these experiences. So, here you are at whatever age you are, you have that many years, that many decades, that many days, that many minutes, that many self-talk moments of data inside here. Now, why is that important? Let's say on the Tom Ferry Show, I say, hey, you should call 100 people a week and use this script. Well, guess what happens? You go into your unconscious mind, the storage facility, and you're like, make phone calls. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I made a phone call once and it hurt and I died and the person rejected me. And you start reliving all these experiences in your unconscious mind. But see, your conscious mind, that's your words and your actions. And guess what? All these negative thoughts come inside here and you're like, I'm not making phone calls. Look, here's the reality. You're in real estate sales and there's someone watching this right now that's like, I don't like to make phone calls. What were you thinking when you got into this business? This is a contact sport game. The people that make the most money pick up the phone and call people. But here's the deal. I wasn't trained to do that. I wasn't conditioned to do that. No one that is a master of the phone or facing their fears or dealing with the rejections of the day, nobody was born that way. We had to earn that. We had to condition our mind, those 40,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day, to become the men and women that we are. And you know, as you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You got to earn it. You got to earn the confidence. But what else is happening? We know that, my goodness, right now living in the U.S., first of all, you should just shut off the news, because between now and the time we have a new president, who cares? It's just going to be drama, disaster, upset, bad hair, not smiling enough, and all that other garbage, right? Like, really, really, really? Like, I know, some people are like, I'm into the whole politics thing. Like, I like Fox News. Fox News is awesome. And they'll be, oh, I like MSNBC. Look, they're both just vomit. You with me? It's just puking. Some people like the O'Reilly vomit. Some people like the other gal vomit. But the reality is, this stuff up here does not create massive action. You don't watch Rachel Maddow and say, now I want to make phone calls and go serve more clients. No, you get angry. You know what I'm talking about. Fear is everywhere right now. All you got to do is just check on the phone, look what's happening in the world, wars, riots, disasters, upset, chaos. Screw it. I know what I'll do. I'll hide and not make money. Like, that becomes the solution. Now, you don't consciously say that, but your actions show it. Look, no inventory, the market's slowing. I'm hearing these things every single day, and yet I'm watching others sell more houses, do more real estate, serve more customers, make more money than they've ever done before. Does mindset matter? Does mindset matter? Does your mindset matter? You and I both know you can take someone with extraordinary skills, all the leads on the planet, but if what's going on up here is a scary place to be, they're going to figure out why now is not the time to call the lead, why that lead probably doesn't want to be interrupted right now, that prospect is probably really busy right now, and they're going to talk themselves out of success. And my desire for you, beyond just your health and vitality and connection with your loved ones, is to move through the fears, take more action, be a resource for others, help more people buy and sell real estate, and make your life your dream life. Does that make sense? So here's some actions for you. You ready? This is what I know. The number one thing you have to do when you find yourself in that negative state is you've got to interrupt the pattern. You've got to interrupt the pattern. I remember seeing Zig Ziglar speak for the very first time in my life, 1989. Felt like a million years ago. Anaheim Convention Center. He slides down on one knee and says, because you got to have goals for yourself. And I remember being 19, a year removed from a Mohawk, thinking, what is this garbage? Who is this guy? And y'all need an attitude checkup from the neck up, and all these great Zigisms that now today I think are just magical. But back then, when I was 19, I was like, what is this garbage? It wasn't until my mentor Bill Mitchell wrote this on the wall for me, and he said, Tom, everybody says you want to have a good attitude, right? A good attitude. See the world half full, see it half empty, right? That whole conversation. See things as they are, see things what is possible versus the negative, the fear, the doubt, the worry. It all made sense to me, but I never understood analytically, how do you create that? How do you cultivate that? I wasn't a fan of fake it till you make it. You with me? That just didn't resonate for me. I wanted to generate it. I wanted to be the cause of it. Bill Mitchell said, Tom, your attitude is just a reflection of your self-talk. The 40,000 to 60,000 thoughts you have every single day, taking responsibility for them, being in control of them, your self-talk, the things you say to yourself, about yourself and other people. I like myself. I believe in me. I love being in sales. I love serving others. I'm a lean, mean, appointment-setting machine. It's just as easy to say that as it is to say, oh, the market's slow. Oh, I've had no showings on any of my listings. Those are also affirmations. Those are also thoughts that you're implanting into that unconscious mind, into that storage cloud, if you will. Self-talk. Your focus is just the questions you ask yourself. Why does this keep happening to me? Versus, what can I do today to bring more value? What can I do today to help my sellers understand what needs to be done next? What can I do today to have my buyers write better offers? Ask yourself a better question, and your mind focuses on what it is that you want, and you get that kind of result. Then the last one is your physiology, the way you move your body. You and I both know, if you're a parent, right? my son plays tennis. If I see my son, after a point, like this, I know his physiology is off. He's got to get his shoulders back. He's got to put a smile on his face. Matter of fact, right now while you're watching this, unless you're driving, just go like this. Just do this. Just put your arms up. Put a smile on your face. Put a big goofy smile on your face. Now, while you're doing this, I hope you're actually doing this with me right now. This is awesome. I hope you're sitting in your office meeting and there's 50 of you right now doing this. Now, do me a favor, with a big smile on your face, get depressed. You can't do it, because if you move your body in a way that is powerful, that is fun, that is enthusiastic, it's very hard to have negative thoughts going on at the same time. When my mentor shared with me that that's how you create your attitude, I was like, oh, I get it. You mean if I just repeatedly say the kind of things that I want, the kind of things I want to attract, if I ask myself questions that lead me towards the accomplishment of my goals, and I move my body in a confident way, then my attitude is positive, then my actions become automatic, and guess what? I begin to produce results, and all of a sudden now I've got this positive spiral, because when I produce the results, my self-talk goes, see, you're doing it. Good job. Keep making the phone calls. You rock, baby. Keep up the great work. Man, if I keep doing this, how much money could I make? I could double my income. I could 10x my income. I start focusing more on what I want. And when you book an appointment, you know how you walk around the office like, right? You're like totally on fire. That was like the lamest walk ever, but you know what I mean. Like, your physiology goes off when you're producing results. You get a listing, you make a sale, you're like, yeah, baby, right? Why not generate it up front? That's what my mentor told me. That'll impact your attitude, you'll take more action, and you'll have better results. But what if your self-talk is negative? Oh. What if the questions you keep asking is, how come the market's going so slow? How come nobody's buying my listings? My listings seem to be wrong. And all of a sudden you feel like your physiology, like your shoulders get all like scrunched up and your forehead gets all scrunchy and your hands are kind of like Schmiegel, and oh my God, I'm not selling any real estate. What shows up in your attitude, you and I both know, Schmiegel. I don't think I've ever had a Schmiegel reference ever on the Tom Ferry Show, but that was kind of awesome. And then what kind of action or lack of action do you take when you're Schmiegel? You and I both know. And then what kind of results do you produce? Right? Horrible. And then guess what? Your self-talk's like, see, your parents were right. You should get a job. You with me on this? Like, all that gets reinforced. So what do you have to do? You got to interrupt the pattern. When you find yourself going down that negative path, you interrupt the pattern. The first thing I do is I always focus on my physiology, right? Like, if I just do this, I feel better. If I do this right now, I command my conscious and unconscious mind right now, baby. Yes, yeah. And I just start moving my body in a powerful way. By the way, if you're in a cubicle environment, this is how I got my first private office. Every hour on the hour, I would just stop on our sales floor and go, right now, yes, I'm a lean, mean appointment setting machine, baby. Let's go right now. One day my sales manager, Greg Allard, walked up and he's like, would you like my office? Like, seriously. But what was I doing? Really, I was conditioning my success, right? It's one thing to interrupt your pattern, to move your body differently, to ask yourself a better question. The problem is, for many people, you get so stuck in the moment that it's hard for you to be consciously aware that this is even going on. And the best thing you do is you start drinking and then you go to sleep. That's not the best thing, but that's what happens. Instead, I'd ask you to start conditioning your success. I'd ask you to start adding the new thoughts up here, right? Start building up your self-confidence every single day. How do you do that? You ready? Affirmations. And I know it's so funny, like people are like, oh, affirmations, only weird people do that. I'm like, well, that's actually an affirmation. I'm like, just like when you say my back hurts, that's an affirmation. It's cold outside, that's an affirmation. The reality is everything that we're saying is affirming our belief about what's going on. So if I say the political situation is bananas, that's an affirmation. Just like it doesn't matter who the next president is, because I serve customers and follow my plan and do relevant marketing, so I win regardless of market conditions. That's also an affirmation. The question is, are you responsible for your self-talk? I want you to become more responsible for your self-talk. Just like I remember with my buddy Chris Duma, brain surgeon, very amazing individual in Newport Beach, California. One day my son and his son were sitting across from each other at a restaurant, and we had just like played soccer or something. And I remember his son said something like, I'm going to get the hamburger, right? And my son goes, I like fruits and vegetables. I avoid meat. I like fruits and vegetables. And it was just hysterical because my wife was conditioning him at the time to believe that. It was hysterical. And my buddy's like, dude, you're brainwashing your son. And I remember scratching my head and saying, yeah, you're right. Better us than SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, I want to condition them to believe anything is possible and back it up with work ethic and focus. I want the same thing for you. There's been so much work done on this. If you're not doing some form of daily affirmation intentionally, you're missing the boat and you're not beginning the process of having that right attitude that's going to give you the right actions and produce the kind of results you want. The next one is books and audios. Like, you just got to brainwash yourself. You've got to be listening to success all the time. Like, the fact that Howard Stern exists is for people that don't want to be in sales, that don't want to be making a difference, that don't want to be making money. And I'm not saying Howard Stern is an amazing entertainer, but starting my day that way, let alone starting my day with constant negative news, I mean, give me a break. I've got to feed my mind every single day, as you're doing with the Tom Ferry Show and other things that you know this. You and I are on the same page, baby. Keep doing more of this. Then the last thing I wrote down is you got to work daily. You got to work daily to build your confidence. A friend of mine recently was telling me about his experience with Navy SEALs. And there's this conversation amongst Navy SEALs about 40%, that the average human being basically gets to about 40% of their capacity. And at that point, they're tired, they're in pain, they can't do anymore. They have a belief system that says that's all they got. And if you read or study or get exposed to Green Berets or maybe somebody in the British Special Forces or Mossad, right? These men and women have learned to go beyond what they believe and push themselves in a way that is nothing shy of extraordinary. And what that tells me is the difference between good, great, and outrageous success in real estate is the same thing. The ability to do the same thing over and over and over and build this habit and condition of success so I can move beyond the limiting beliefs that we have about how many homes you can sell and how many people you can serve and how much money you can make. You got to move beyond that. And the only way I know how to do it is daily discipline. Over and over, pushing beyond. When you feel totally exhausted, make 5 more phone calls. When you think that the market's completely horrible, call 10 people, right? Stay in massive action rather than letting the BS stories up here stop your greatness. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I want some comments. I want some feedback. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm committed to your success. I'm committed to pushing you outside of your comfort zone. I dare you to match me. I dare you to match me. Thanks. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.